No. No. Yes. Yes, Jane. Yes, Jane, baby. Look at Jane, everybody. She's a Tinder supernova. Somebody tell Jane she's famous. She looks like the type of girl who secretly always wanted to be, but never quite made it. Okay, so Timothy Sykes used to always say for like the last 10 months that I've been following him, it doesn't matter about making 50 bucks, losing 50 bucks. It's all about being prepared for the big trade. And finally, I know what the fuck he's talking about. So I've got two systems that I follow now, like a kind of a daily breakout pattern and a kind of a daily penny stocking framework pattern. And I'm just tracking a lot of stocks that have been up recently, or the top percent gainers over a period of 2-3 weeks, or even a month, to see these patterns come to fruition. And then it's just watching the price action. So sometimes I might get stopped out, 1-2% loss. Sometimes the price action's not quite right, so I'll make 50 bucks because I'll be a little bit up. I got a good entry, but the price action's scary. And then finally, 1 in every 5 or 6 of these times, you'll make it 15-20%. And it took 10 months to get this, but I get it. I get it, Tim. I get it. Just before we get into some trades, I just want to say that when I first came across Tim about 10 months ago, I did not trust him. Was a bit thinking the situation was a bit sketchy. I wasn't sure if he was legit. But after about 10 months of learning, and I'll show you my percentage gains in a minute to show you how they've actually, like, in a rational sense, the numbers have got better and better and better. And I'm on my way to profitability, and I've thought so for a while. But I mean, I think once you start hitting a 45-50% monthly average on your trades, you're clearly there. But I just want to say, guys, you can follow us on Stephen Johnson Stocks, Snapchat's Junk1987. I'll put them all up. Please follow me on Instagram. It's StephenJunk87, but I'll put the handle up here because, frankly, I've got more matches on Tinder than I have followers on Instagram, and that's not a good thing. The matches I've got on Tinder are like 4s and 5s. They're not particularly hot at all. But I just want to say, yep, I've learned everything pretty much exclusively through Tim, and thank him for that. But obviously, when the day comes when I'm making a lot more, then that'll be epic. And like, guys, all the haters can hate. Like, if you want to be like, oh, I'm just a Tim Sykes puppet. He's just a Tim Sykes puppet. He's just a dumb sheep. Buy, sell, buy, sell. He doesn't know what he's talking about, and he will live in a box in a cave. Like, if you guys, the haters, if you want to think I'm some sort of fucking puppet, think I'm a puppet. But when I'm making money, the joke's on you. Quick fame, chin up after a crappy month. Carl, what matters is you're on the right track. Ultimate 89, just finished binge watching your videos, love that. Perseverance is great, it's finally clicking. And Karaka, whatever that is, we will not fail, just watched all of these DVDs. Keep at it, keep making the videos, and your story will be a great example someday. That's why I'm doing it, because ultimately it's not if I'll be profitable anymore. It's just a case of when. And this is why I wanted to show this whole journey. And lastly, the Flash is, I'm not even gonna go into hate, and it's a waste of fucking video time. Just know that he's a dick and don't help him because he's a dick and he doesn't support other people. But guys, enjoy the trades. I've got nothing else to say other than I feel better than I've ever felt with trading. I can see that it's coming together. And I don't know, let's just get into the trades. And recap, winning percentages month on month. You can see I had a relatively good month in November, just losing 1% of my account, but I want to focus on the winning percentages going from 16, I mean, this was a freak month in July when the market was really hot, but realistically, like August, September, it was 18, 14, 20%. And now I'm kind of moving into the 30%. Like, I'm actually, in the last 6 months, say, I'm actually winning more trades monthly than I ever have before. And yes, I mean, I lost about 500 bucks at the start of the month being reckless, drinking and trading and not cutting losses. I'm in a much better place now, and I think I just need maybe in the next few months to get my percentage up to the 40s and 50s, and then it's going to be pretty hard not to be profitable when you're winning more trades than you're losing. Okay, guys, hello everybody. We're very, very lucky that this happened on GLBS because it demonstrates a very good lesson that I've seen many times before. So as you can see, the stock, I mean, what got me interested in is when you look at the 2-month chart, for example, I was buying it when it broke this former high, and then obviously it's in the 740s where I actually bought it. It was kind of breaking out onto all-time highs. So I was interested in this because I knew it was volatile. I knew it had actually gone supernova before, and
And it's more the intraday pattern as well. You can see it's gone supernova here, but when you look at it back on 4 hours, you've got to understand things on multiple timelines, and it's good that I get this. It took a long time. A lot of it was Tim Sykes and the patterns that I learned from him. Some of it was Eric Russell and just watching how he plays intraday. And a lot of it was kind of more crook in the webinars. But let us just go into it. The stock had ran. I was at work during this period. Pulled back. First pullback, which is important to notice. Ran a bit more. Pulled back. Learned from Eric, I think, kind of. And Tim Grattani as well on the Trading Tickers DVD to buy the pullback on these NASDAQ stops. I was lucky. I got like 745. I really quite kind of nailed the pullback. And I followed it up. It consolidated. It started running a little bit more, but it was having a bit of trouble in the 8s. It was having a little trouble beating this kind of former high. And I know from kind of Eric's videos that the first pullback is fine. The second pullback is fine. But to buy the third pullback, I thought this was a third pullback. It's kind of going to be over. But it wasn't. And the stock ramped up to the 9s, 930s. But again, another important sign that you kind of learn is that when a stock ramps out of control, it's generally the beginning of the end. And it was the beginning of the end. So it had one final push up until the 9s. I'm not that bothered that I missed this. I mean, I took a small profit, but again, first pullback, second pullback, this could have been the third. I don't mind being out. It had this crazy run. I could have made it maybe a few $100, $220 instead of just $40. But again, played it safe because I've come off the back of a bit of a bad month. But this big run is definitely the beginning of the end. So when it starts to pull back, you have to be out in the 920s because crash support and do not dip by this because it's gonna fall and then crack. Like this is not a bounce. It's cracked too hard, and then crack again, and it'll probably crack again. So it's crazy because it's took us maybe 10 months to get to this point, but I'm buying it because it's a breakout. Ba 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 ba. I'm loving it. No, frankly, I'm not loving it. And I hate McDonald's as well. It's fucking bad for you and it's addictive. I'm going to have to run because I just ate one. But really cool lessons in ETRM. Maybe I can just show you guys. Here. Yeah. Everyone ETRM should bounce today or Sunday in its predictable pattern. I meant Monday. I'm living in Dubai and we start work on Sundays. Be prepared. And I was saying be prepared for the bounce. It actually dipped a bit longer, but the bounce was always potentially there. And here was the bounce today, and it was a big move from the 6s to the 10s. It doubled in size nearly. And you can say, how do I know this? And I know this because it happened with VBIO here, it happened with AXIM here, and it was just a matter of time before it happened to ETRM here. And it will happen to other stocks as well. It's the penny stock and framework Tim teaches in his DVD. And frankly, it's one of the bread and butter patterns that I trade. My mistake was that, let's have a quick look, the 1 minute. I was very, very scared of it just running without us. So I took a small position, and when it kind of washed out, I took a small position right here pre-market, and when it was washing out to the 650s, I got out, and I shouldn't have because it's only 20 cents, but I wasn't sure how far it could go down. But the reality was, if we just go to a 2-day chart quickly, because I'm worried about time, I mean the 650s, this looks small in comparison now, but the 650 was its top yesterday, so it fell to its previous day high. And then if I just give it a bit more wiggle room, I kind of bought in on this dip. I'm really disappointed with me entry. I should have given a wider spread, but just bought in the dip, and I could have rode it all the way up to the 10s, making $500-600. But you live and learn. Although the penny stock and framework is one of my bread and butter patterns now, I just need to have a bit more conviction and a bit more belief in myself, and I would have nailed it. And actually, I took a small position riding it up here because I know how fast this can run when it squeezes shorts. So I did take a small position and made some of the money back that I'd lost, but I should have held it to the yesterday's support level. That was a really amateur sell that cost us an absolute ton of money. So just a bit more conviction, that's it. SGY, tell me why. SGY, that is the song, right? Tell me why, tell me why. I think it's Fleetwood Mac. But this is another example of the kind of Not this is not so much a bread and butter pattern, but it was breaking out and it's a low float. Um, and I mean, it's got a lot of volume, so I thought it was again not the bread and butter plane, not what I'd normally go for, but I mean it has run a number of days before, it could run a number of days again. This looks like the type of stock that could gap up. I don't know if it where it's trading at now. I think it might be trading at its close. I'm gonna have a little look. We'll leave it for another time. But yeah, what got me interested in this that fast really, because I don't want to spend much time on it, is the fact that I mean it was breaking its highs here, then it broke its highs again. It's a nice little kind of stair-step pattern, and frankly, it was just edging like it was going to break out again. So I got in right here at 872, around here at 872, and then it slammed down. Oh, sorry, I was in here at 872, and it looked, and I was like, oh, it's broke out, and then it slammed back down, and I had a stop loss at 870, and I actually got out at 864, and I will never use a stop loss ever again, because I realized that they can have these little shakeout candles to take out stop losses, and had I have just stayed in, the stock never went below me entry price at 872 again. I mean, maybe here it was at 870, so 2 cents, but then it was running and running and running, and then it was way out to the tens. So again, it's like it missed out on $1 a share, about 15%. And c'est la vie. I mean, this is it. The lesson here is don't have a fucking stop loss.
Why am I wearing a suit? I have no idea. I just threw it on. I like it though. I'm going to wear it to a meeting sometime. Yeah, I mean, like I say, it's a long journey. It's took us 10 months, 3 months on the challenge even to get this far. Lot of downs, a lot of feeling shitty, a lot of ups thinking I've cracked it, only to learn that there's so much more to learn. But focus on the stats, focus on the percentages. That's what I found have worked for me. And that's where your bigger picture faith comes in. And it just comes. It takes so long. And like Tim will be like, you'll be like, Tim, stop talking about the breakout and the same pattern and saying the same thing. But you have to listen to it again and again and again for it to internalize and click. But no words to say at the end of this one. I just want you to comment below and tell us why you got into trading. Just comment, I got into trading because, and I would just love to hear your story. I got into it originally because I was successful at poker and I wanted to try trading because I felt like it might be the same. And because I broke up with my girlfriend and I was bored, and frankly because I had a lack of confidence in myself and I was just drinking all the time out of boredom. And I've still got some friends who do that. I've found a much bigger purpose that helps me a lot more. And stops is like I don't really drink that much anymore because I'm so involved in this. But I've got friends who might wake up on a Friday and just slam beers all day, and I'm like, where I'm from in Newcastle, we do that anyway. But it's not being happy like, and yeah, for me it's gives us a real identity. But on that great note, see you later. Thanks for watching. Fucking love you guys. I'll see you later.